This is the Rakdos Commander deck out of the Rakdos Guild selection of 270 cards for the Ravnica Cube that I'll be playing with. I'm just gonna go through the cards quickly. I think I went with 30 something creatures for this deck. Don't have enough dragons, but I put in a bunch of dragons in the high end that go well with Sarkhan. And these are mana ordered. There's a lot of cards in here that hit for one because I want to make sure throughout. I mean, that's the theme of the deck, and some of the benefits are if your opponent has taken damage this turn, and that's going to happen a lot in this deck, if allowed. Okay, so I'm going to hit for one. Loses one life, gain one life. So you got to pay two, but you can tap it. Tap it, deals one damage to each player. When it attacks, each opponent loses one life. You're getting the picture. When it becomes tapped, hit one, gain one. Another one of my favorite cards. It's also in the Golgari deck. I think I bought a playset when it was in standard. It was not an expensive card. It's worth nothing these days. A flyer. And I'm not on tokens in this deck. It just happens to be a good card. And it is from the Rakdos Guild Kit. The Guild Mage from the Rakdos Guild Kit. Not Guild Gate, Guild Kit. The Guild Mage from Ravnica 2. Not one of the best. I don't like any of the Guild Mages from Ravnica 2, but this one kind of rubs it in with making the player lose more life. Deals one damage to that player. So a player may do something, and then you can hit him for one. A low hitter haste. That's a 3/1. Very good card. Another great card. If anybody tries to do reanimation against you, this thing will hit him. Temporary exile trick. Again, doing things that can cost a player to lose any life, even if it's just one life. If you discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, gains haste, becomes a vampire, even though we're not on vampires. Sack a creature for 2, deals 2 damage. The standard Rakdos small hits that make a difference. Spectacle. So if you cast it for one less, if an opponent lost life. So one of the things that I'm doing is triggering Spectacle throughout the game as much as possible. This condition is when it becomes blocked. A flyer with haste. I mean, fantastic card. I played it so much. Okay. Yep. Of course, if you're attacking with an army of things, this can ping the hell out of your opponent. Deals 2 damage to target opponent. That's what you need for Spectacle. Indestructible when you sack a creature. If you sack the human, you get this gets a +1/+1 counter. We don't have that many humans, and I didn't really even go for them. So let me see. There's one, another, and another. Yeah, okay. I got some humans. So that's going to happen often enough in this deck. That's good. I wasn't thinking about that when I put the card in. Deals 2 damage to the player unless the player sacks a creature. Flyer. I'm sorry, it is not a flyer. It's got haste. Then it's got unleash. I'm not on counters, but there's enough creatures that I have counters in this deck. Like Olivia. And again, I'm not on vampires, but this is a great card. You don't really need to be on vampires to play it. And then I've got a dragon because I want flyers. Yeah, and you cannot cast it unless you were triggering some kind of spectacle, and I am. Big hitter. I played this card in the pre-release. It's fantastic. You can discard any number of cards and then draw that many cards, so you can clean up your hand, get rid of dead draws for something else. It's really, it gives some cycling effectively. Yeah, if you get board wipe, although I didn't put any board wipes, any strong board wipes in any of these decks. I wanted to keep them at the right level. Sarkhan, you can pause it and read it. Yeah. And then of course I'm dealing incremental damage, so anytime that I can get an in with this guy, I can win the game. This particular copy is from a playset that I bought when it was off standard. I mean, of course the card is worthless these days, and I believe there's a copy of it in the Rakdos Guild kit. Inferno Titan deals 3 damage. This card is from the Return to Ravnica pre-release, if you can believe it. I pulled it and I played it. Yeah, gets a bunch of counters if allowed. Good old Siobhan Dragon, why not? So these are my dragons. I've got dragons in the high end. And this is from one of those Target little 3-pack thingies that I got from the summer trip. One of them. And then this one's just participation. I just wanted it in the deck just for fun. It's not a good card. None of them are from that cycle. From any of the double card cycles. Tutor. An X damage spell from the Guild kit. I remember when this card was spoiled, it was a big deal. These days now it's destroying a Planeswalker with a card that says destroy Planeswalker is not as difficult or rare. Another one of these cards where you're triggering spectacles, triggering for Rakdos, incremental damage. Another X damage spell from the Guild kit. Card draw. More card draw. Destruction. Get a critter from your opponent's graveyard. Three damage to any target, also from the Guild kit. More card draw, and I want to make sure that I got the same, that I don't have a repeat. Yeah, because the other one is Painful Lessons. Good. Perfect. More destruction. The Charm. Another one of these cards just for fun. Just to have a little bit of fun in the deck. Doesn't have to be competitive. One of my favorite artwork on a Magic card ever. Just like it. Looks weird. Looks interesting. The old art is kind of, old school Magic. This is much better. Much better. Leyline from 2020. Deals 2 damage to that player. Another card from the Guild kit. Just because I'm building a deck that is kind of like gonna stay fixed. I'm gonna, once I tune the deck, from the selection and I like it, I'm going to keep it as is for posterity, so I can, you know, several years from now, can just play it the way it is, exactly the way I built it. And this is a great card for this selection, and I've got another one in the box that I can put in one of the constructed decks. Then from War, from Magic 2020, from the Guild Kit, of course, the Signet and the Key Rune.